Hey, I'm so excited today because I am sharing my new diet with you today. My name is Catherine Kyle from greenthickies.com and I'm excited about today, but I'm also a little bit reluctant because I have a meal planning system where I provide healthy meal plans that help people to lose weight and to improve their health. And I have started a slightly different type of diet, a slightly different variation on that meal planning system. And I'm a little bit reluctant because why am I starting a new diet if the old one is working fine? And there's a couple of reasons really. The first reason is I'm sick. I've got chronic fatigue syndrome. I'm really wiped out. I don't have any energy to do anything. And I was following my own meal plans about 80% of the time, and 20% of the time I was eating all kinds of junk food. I thought I'd healed my body. I was feeling really good, really energetic. So I was eating junk food. I was eating, pizzas once a week, thinking, oh, I can do this, balanced lifestyle thing where I eat healthy most of the time in my own house and then have a meal out once a week and I'm fine and I'm healthy. And it turns out that I can't do that because I've just been diagnosed with celiac disease, which means that's an autoimmune disorder, which means when I eat gluten my body attacks itself. So turns out I can't really be kind of eating gluten and pizzas and that kind of thing. So I need to be strict. So you would have thought, well, why don't you just go and start strictly on the leaf system diet and don't change it in any way. And there's two reasons really. One is that sometimes I get a little bit bored of eating the same food, and two, I've been hearing so much about this new type of diet that I really wanted to try it. And sometimes when you start a new diet you go through a detox, and a good time to start a new diet is when you're already feeling sick because you already feel bad. So if you feel bad through the detox then you don't really notice any difference because you felt bad anyway. So that's a really good time to try a new diet. And I've tried the first time I got chronic fatigue syndrome, I went on a raw food diet for 6 months. I spent 3 months feeling absolutely dreadful, went through a horrendous detox, the first time I detoxed in my life, and then I turned a corner and I felt amazing. And you might be wondering, well, why don't you just go back on the raw food diet? Well, two reasons really. One is that I didn't like to have to just eat fruit all the time. I've just felt constantly, every few hours or every 2 hours even, I felt hungry again, like I needed to keep eating fruit all the time. I was eating mounds and mounds of fruit and it got kind of boring, chopping all this fruit, eating all this fruit, and it's not sustainable. It's not something that I really, really relish the thought of going back to be honest, even though I felt amazing. And the second reason is because I have had some issues with my teeth, some infections and things. I've been reading so much about the ideal diet for teeth, and it turns out that eating a fully raw diet completely comprised of mainly fruit and a few little seeds and nuts and some salad veg, but mainly fruit is not the ideal diet for your teeth because there is so much sugar in, when you're getting all of your calories from very sweet, high calorie fruit, then that's not the ideal diet for your teeth. And although since I started that, changed my health and I've gone through various different diets since then, I have not had any new fillings, but I have had recurring problems from existing problems. So the infection was from an implant that supposedly implants don't really heal up properly and they're very prone to infection anyway. But saying that, I do still want to be very, very careful. I don't want to eat tons and tons of sugar because I want to take care of the teeth that I do have left. So I'm not going to go back to a raw food diet. And the second time I got chronic fatigue syndrome, I went onto a paleo diet, and it's a bit difficult to work out exactly what heals your body because I did so many different things at the same time. I spent about 6 months on the paleo diet, and although I did see some improvements, like my blood sugar levels improved, my digestion really improved, but I did not recover from the chronic fatigue. I was still absolutely wiped out, but I was looking after, and turns out I've got hormonal problems and all sorts of things that were never addressed at the time. So it's not, sometimes diet can't cure everything, and this is what I'm working out now. So although I changed my diet, I'm also working with a naturopath now to work out, how to go above and beyond diet. So yeah, the second time, the paleo diet, I did not recover from chronic fatigue syndrome, and then but I was looking after my newborn baby, my toddler, and then did that for 9 months, and then I finally just thought, I just can't do this anymore. I just don't have the energy. So they both went into full-time childcare, and at the same time, I started using essential oils. I started drinking this nutritional goji berry drink from the company Young Living that makes the essential oils. And within a month, all of this happened at the same time. And also, I'd changed my diet slightly. On the paleo diet, I had not been eating any raw food. I'd not been drinking my green Thickies that contained raw leafy greens. So I switched my diet at the same time. I started drinking my green Thickies again. And at the same time, I also started reading about how to improve your mindset, and started saying these positive affirmations. So I did all of that at the same time. So it's kind of impossible to tell exactly what healed, and it's probably just a combination of everything, just getting the right nutrition, finally getting a rest from my kids and getting a good night's sleep. The essential oils helped me to sleep. They boosted my energy. The raw food, the leafy greens, boosted my energy, and everything just worked in combination. And the positive mindset, would finally have time to think of my own positive mindset and actually focus on that during the day, instead of just my kids constantly 24 hours a day. So that was what happened the second time. So I'm slightly reluctant just to go back to a normal paleo diet, because I want to heal quickly. I'm impatient, and I shouldn't be impatient. I should be relaxed and saying, when I recover, I'll recover. But at the same time, I want to do everything I can possibly do to improve my body. So this is my new diet, and if this works well for me, I will be incorporating this into the leaf system somewhere. But it is still a paleo diet, so it's not, I haven't deviated too far away from paleo, but it's just gone a little bit more extreme. And you might think this is extreme, and so this is what I'm doing. I was reading all these books about chronic fatigue syndrome, and I kept seeing the same recommendation for the same diet over and over again, and I kept on dismissing it, and it got to the point where this diet was just coming in everywhere. It's like, do this diet, do this diet, do this diet from every sources. And I thought, maybe God is trying to tell me something, that I should do this diet. Maybe this is the diet for me right now. Maybe this is the healing diet that I need to heal my body quickly. And, if it works, I will share it with you. I will, help you to discover the same benefits. But at the moment, I don't know if it's going to work, because I've just started it maybe about 2 weeks ago. So, the name of the new diet is called a ketogenic diet. And you might have heard of this before. So what is a ketogenic diet? A ketogenic diet is a high-fat diet, and you might be feeling horrified right now. We were told when we were younger we had to eat low-fat, and the only way to lose weight is to eat low-fat and all that kind of stuff. But actually, it turns out that the government and the scientists that did these studies telling us that we had to eat low fat for good health and to lose weight, they were actually wrong. The studies were wrong, and they've actually been completely dismissed now. And now they're saying, yes, you do need to eat fat, good quality fat, for good health, and actually to lose weight, and so your body functions properly, because it can't function properly without fat. So it's a high fat diet, because fat, it turns out, is actually very good for us. Well, it can be either very good or very bad, depending on the source. If you eat really nasty trans fats and kind of rancid vegetable oils and things like that, then it will do harm to your body, because that is not the fat that is natural for our body. But if you eat very good quality fats that come from very good quality sources, like good quality pasture raised meats from eggs, from nuts, from seeds, from healthy oils like coconut oils from coconuts and that type of thing, then these type of fats are extremely good for your body. It's so nourishing to your body. And it's not the first time I've heard about fats being good for your body. I've been practicing this for a few years now, and my diet has been fairly high fat. I wouldn't say maybe high fat, maybe kind of medium fat. I've been having, say, probably an equal amount of fats, carbs and protein in my diet. Probably maybe more fats than protein, because I'm not a big meat eater. So it turns out that the ketogenic diet is perfect for me, because I can carry on eating pretty much the same types of foods that I was eating. I just need to adjust things very slightly, which is perfect. So what is the ketogenic diet? What does it mean? And it means that your body actually switches from burning glucose to burning fat as its primary source of fuel, which is really exciting, because I didn't know all this, and it turns out that it's much easier for the body to run on fat than it is to run on glucose, and you don't get any crazy blood sugar level highs and lows. That your body is very, very even and very natural all the way through the day. And before I got this chronic fatigue syndrome, that's pretty much how I felt all the time anyway. I'd have the occasional up and down if I ate some junk food, but most of the time I was quite level. And I think that's because I did always include a good amount of fat. Like, I never restricted the fat in my diet. I just used to throw it in, and probably I was probably eating close to a ketogenic diet anyway. So it hasn't come as a big shock to me. It's just that I've been able to define it now and work out what the benefits are and be a little bit more precise about what I'm doing. And the ketogenic diet, it turns out, the claims are made that it is so good for your body. It's good for absolutely everything. It's good for your energy. It's good for getting rid of brain fog, for thinking clearly, for being calm, getting rid of stress, just all kinds of things. Like, people are using it when they've got cancer to start, because cancers live on sugar, so it starves the cancer cells and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, well, if it's good enough for healing from cancer, then maybe it's good enough for healing from chronic fatigue syndrome. And seeing as it gives you energy, that's exactly what I need. And all these chronic fatigue syndrome books are telling me, then that is an ideal diet. So I have started this ketogenic diet, and I will see how it goes. So what kind of foods do I eat? And to be honest with you, I eat pretty much the same as I always was eating. So these are the kind of foods that I eat. I've just adjusted the types of ingredients that go in them a little bit. So for breakfast, I still have my green Thickies. I don't think there'll be a day goes by where I don't drink green Thickies, because leafy greens are amazing for your health. They are so good. And sometimes it's so hard to eat them in abundance if you don't drink them. So still got my green Thickies, which are complete meal green smoothies. And instead of putting more high sugar fruit in there, I have low sugar fruit like berries and not as much of it, and I have more fat like full fat coconut milk, which I absolutely adore. Still like seeds and nuts and leafy greens in there, and some avocado, and that's like the filler that makes it into the complete meal. And it's very filling, it's very nutritionally dense, and it is delicious. It's still creamy, it's still slightly sweet, and it's still gorgeous. So I'm still drinking my green Thickies. I will never go without my green Thickies. For lunch, I am still having like either a soup or a salad, or sometimes even green Thickies again, because they're so good for you. Why not have them twice in a day? The soups, I have often just a vegetable soup with lots of fat and some bone broth, or stock in there. And I might cook some fried eggs in some coconut oil on the side and put those on top of my soup. That would be my soup meal. Or I might have a salad. I've only been doing this 2 weeks, so I haven't experimented very much, but making like a salad with loads of healthy oils on there, some nuts, some seeds, maybe some egg mayonnaise made with some healthy mayonnaise that I've made myself, that kind of thing. They're the things that I'm really liking for lunch right now. And for dinner, my dinners haven't really changed. I'm still doing stews. I've got an Instapot. I love my stews. I just throw everything in and it cooks, and I serve it, and it's the easiest thing when you've got either chronic fatigue syndrome, you've got low energy, you're busy, you've got kids to look after. Throwing everything into a Instapot or making a stew is one of the easiest meals you can make, because you just set it and forget it. It's amazing. So I'm still doing my stews. I'm still eating the same kind of things I did. I maybe put a little bit more fat and oil in there. I still have vegetables, I still have meat in there, and I still serve it on either a bed of cauliflower rice or some like courgette zucchini noodles, and I will cook maybe different carbs for my family because they are not doing this yet. So that's the kind of meals, and I'll make some snacks. Like maybe I used to eat fruit for a snack. I didn't really snack very often, to be honest, but now with this chronic fatigue syndrome, my blood sugar levels went a bit crazy, and I've not been feeling so good. I've been feeling like my blood sugar levels, my blood pressure has been dropping very low very quickly. And this was actually when I was still eating gluten. So this has not started since I've started the ketogenic diet. This has been going on for months. And I was eating gluten, so no wonder. But anyway, so instead of eating fruit for snacks, I have been making things called fat bombs, which are made up of like coconut or nuts and seeds, all healthy, amazing stuff. But I've ruled out any like dates or dried fruit because that's very high in sugar as well. So that is what I'm eating, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. I love my food. I love it even more than I used to. I love fat, and it just seems to be what works well in my body. I've always thought that with the fat. I've always loved fat, and it seems to love me. And I've been on it 2 weeks. I've been getting over this celiac disease, this gluten. I've glutened myself 2 weeks ago, so my antibodies are still going crazy in my body, and my intestine is still wiped out. So digestion's all over the place. So it is probably a bit early to tell, but I will keep you posted about how this ketogenic diet goes for me. And I was actually very reluctant to start this before because it can also be labelled as a low carb diet, a low carbohydrate diet, which I have actually been dead against in the past. So this is a bit of a U-turn for me, and I am never one to say that I was, I will willingly say that I was wrong or that I didn't know what I was talking about if I discover something new, which I've done many times. I've tried the raw food diet. That was the best thing since sliced bread. Then I was a vegan. That was the best thing since sliced bread, and then paleo, and now this. But everybody is different. Everybody will have a different diet that works for them. And I just encourage you to don't take my word for it. Just try something. Just try something new. Anything. Just as long as it's labelled as healthy, and see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, move on and try something else. So, this is what life's about. We're experimenting with our health. No, there's no one perfect anything. We can't ever have perfect health. It's all just an experiment. So this is a new experiment for me. I didn't like the low carbs because I felt like people were limiting vegetables too much, like fruits and veg, especially vegetables. People were saying, I can hardly eat any carbs a day, and I'm not going to have any vegetables. I'm going to eat these low carb, bars, these low carb protein bars or whatever they are, and kind of processed food, unhealthy food. And I'm just not into that. I'm into real food, healthy food, fresh produce. I'm back on a dairy-free diet. I'm still experimenting with some raw dairy, but at the moment I'm giving it 4 weeks of no dairy and see if that helps me to recover, because dairy can be quite inflammatory to the body, and a lot of people can be intolerant to it without even knowing it. So no dairy for me. So I'm still interested in the eating very healthily, and I thought there is no way to do a low carb diet and still be healthy and still get enough fibre from the fruit and veg, which is absolutely essential for your health. You need to have the nutrients that come from vegetables or fruit. And then I discovered an amazing woman called Leanne Vogel, and she is a woman after my own heart, and I think she's been through all the same stages with diets as I have. And she's been doing the ketogenic diet for a couple of years now, I think, and she has got amazing health, and she's looking amazing, she's feeling amazing, and she has found a way to do the ketogenic diet which does not limit the nutrients that come from vegetables and some fruit. And and she also has really good theories about not limiting the carbs too much, and there's certain strategies and ways that you can incorporate carbs every so often and stay in a ketogenic state where your body still burns the burns the fat as fuel in your body, which is makes your health feel really, really good. So she has found some amazing ways to use the ketogenic diet, and I just love her approach. I love everything about it. I'm a complete believer. So if you want to read the resource that I am following right now, it's not only does it tell you everything you need to know about the ketogenic diet, it also tells you ways to do it in a healthy way, which is so important, because like any diet, there's ways to do it in an unhealthy way and there's ways to do it in a healthy way, and she definitely has ways to do it in a healthy way. And she has this book, and it's got hundreds and hundreds of recipes in them. I've made a few of them. They have been so tasty. They've worked so well. They're so fast. They're amazing. So if you want to check out that resource, go to greenthickies.com/start keto. Keto, start keto, greenthickies.com/start keto, and I'll put a link, and I'll put some other links around this video for you, and you can go and check that out. So if you're already on a keto diet, or if you have just started, or if you've got questions, leave a comment, let me know. I can't wait to hear from you and see how it's going for you. Take care. Bye.